In the previous video, we started the process of using Photoshop to create some of the decals for this car. In this video, we're going to go back to Maya to create some of the shading networks for the paint job, and then begin applying some of the decals that we created in Photoshop. Okay, so here's where we left off in Maya. So now that we've got the decals built in Photoshop, let's go ahead and start to assemble a new shading network for this car. You can see right now it's sort of just the default silver material, which is how we pretty much left this in the original photorealistic car modeling kit. But let's go ahead and add a little bit more flair to this paint job. So what I want to do is just pick any view, I suppose. Let's go ahead and just do it with the top view. And let's go up to Panels, Panel, and let's switch it to the Hypershade. Okay, and I'm just going to go to a full screen on this so it's a little easier for you to see. Okay, the first node that I'm going to start with is the layered shader. Okay, and we're just going to construct a layered shader somewhat similar to the one that we made in the last photorealistic car modeling kit, but it's going to be a little bit different, you'll see. So the next element I want to add is a ramp shader. Okay, so with this ramp shader, let's go ahead and open up the attributes for that. Okay, and with this ramp shader, what I'll have it do is I can use this to assemble sort of a sort of an iridescent paint job, one that changes colors depending on how you view it. So let's go ahead and use this to assemble a paint job that will change from something in a light orange, maybe something sort of like this color. Okay, let's go ahead and move that over here to this side. And now what I can do is just click anywhere in this area to add a new color swatch. Now with this color swatch selected, let's add a darker orange. Okay, something sort of like this. Okay, and what I can do is under the color input, by default the color input is set to light angle. Instead of light angle, let's change it to facing angle. And now what I'll have is a paint job that'll change from this sort of light orange color and change from that to a dark orange. Okay, a few other options I want to be able to change on this before we go any further is the specular color. Let's go ahead and change that specular color all the way down to a black, which means it's not going to have any specularity at all. And you can see right now it looks now more like a Lambert. Okay, and also I want to eliminate all the reflectivity from this ramp shader. Okay, so let's take that reflectivity attribute and change that to 0. So now it has no specular color and it has no reflectivity whatsoever. It's basically now a Lambert that is able to change color. Okay, so what I can do is over here in my layered shader, let's go ahead and just middle click on this ramp shader, which let's go ahead and call this base color. Just so we can keep track of this a little easier. Okay, so let's select our layered shader and just middle click this base color and drag it over. Okay, so now I have the layered shader with the base color in it. And I want to add one more node to this, and that's a blend. Okay, in this blend, I'm going to switch the transparency all the way up. And let's go ahead and make this specular highlight a little bit tighter. So let's make it a white color. And let's pull up the specular roll-off. And let's lower this eccentricity down. What we're trying to get is a very, very tight specular highlight. So what we can do is take this specular roll-off higher than the maximum value of 1. So let's take this up to something like 3, and that'll give us now a little bit harder specular highlight. So let's go ahead and now take our layered shader and drag this blend up here. And if I restack this so that the blend is on top, okay, and I'll rename this blend to something like car paint highlight. Yep, didn't spell that right. Car paint highlight. Okay, and the reason that I've done this with two shaders is because now if I needed to go in and add another element that still needs to be reflective, I can go ahead and just slip it between the paint highlight and the base color and not add any extra issues. Okay, so now with this layered shader, let's just go ahead and call this car paint. Okay, now with this car paint, let's go ahead and add a split view. So this is going to be a little easier to see for you. Let's go ahead and turn on this hypershade again. And basically, let's go ahead and just start to assign this to all the areas of the car that we want to be this sort of orange color. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just go through and select all these areas that are going to have this orange color. Okay, I'm not going to select the spoiler that we built. Okay, so with all those pieces selected, now let's just right click on this car paint and assign material to selection. Okay, and it's going to come up as sort of a gray color, but that's okay. It's actually going to render out as an orange color. Okay, so in the next video, we'll go ahead and start to assign this decal up onto the hood.